Tardes los que van entrando. Hola, muy buenas tardes a todos los que van entrando. Entonces, hoy es nuestra tercera sesión de este miércoles de la segunda semana del Encuentro Creativo. Entonces, vayan tomando sus lugares. Hoy, precisamente, vamos a tener una sesión de la Università IULM. Entonces, vamos a estar hablando con algunos expertos y particularmente el tema que hoy nos ocupa es las industrias de moda y creativas, una conversación acerca del Made in Italy a través de muchos aspectos, la educación, la internacionalización y sus industrias. Entonces, en lo que van llegando, vamos a tener unas palabras de bienvenida de su excelencia, el excelentísimo Luigi De Chiara, embajador de Italia en México.
Soy Luigi De Chiara, embajador de Italia en México. Soy muy feliz de presentar Encuentro Creativo, una producción de la Cámara de Comercio Italiana en México con la Embajada de Italia. En México hay un potencial de talento creativo que me parece no logra salir de sus fronteras con la presentación de la oferta formativa de esas instituciones académicas en el campo de las industrias creativas italianas. Queremos ofrecer no solo la posibilidad de mejorarse de un punto de vista técnico, sino también de saber dónde van las tendencias, cómo se ha construido el éxito del Made in Italy, sobre todo en el sector del estilo de vida.
Es un evento muy importante, Encuentro Creativo, porque da la oportunidad a los estudiantes mexicanos egresados de universidades o de institutos académicos de conocer la oferta educativa que hay para cursos de posgrado en el campo del diseño, de la moda y de las artes gráficas.
Así que durante estas 2 semanas de Encuentro Creativo van a poder encontrar tips y conocer acerca de las mejores universidades y institutos italianos. Van a poder conocer a embajadores, a ponentes que están trabajando en la industria, que son también académicos de estas universidades. La finalidad es que disfruten de Italia, que conozcan Italia a través de estos webinars y seminarios y que se aventuren a vivir en Italia y vivir una experiencia llena de conocimiento, de sabiduría y de diseño y de moda. Espero que lo disfruten y muchísimas gracias.
Pues, hola, muy buenas tardes, allá buenas noches, acá buenos días casi. Entonces, hoy estamos en el marco de IULM, que es pues un lugar donde están convergiendo varios saberes. Es la Universidad Libre de Lengua y Comunicación de Milán, IULM, y prepara a profesionales capaces de adelantarse a las necesidades del mercado laboral a partir de entender todas las tendencias actuales, que puedan aprovechar los retos y las oportunidades de los mercados y escenarios internacionales. Y este campus que tiene IULM en Milán, que es una de las capitales mundiales de la moda, el diseño y las industrias creativas, pues es vibrante y dinámico, y ahí los estudiantes planifican y construyen su futuro en un entorno estimulante. Para dar esta plática, ya tenemos aquí, ya la hemos conocido en estas sesiones, la presencia de Orietta Pelizzari, que ella es copropietaria del estudio Matori, con sede en Milán, y tiene acción en todo el mundo. Ha participado en asociaciones muy importantes como la Cámara de la Moda de Milán, que organiza la Semana de la Moda en Milán. Ya ha sido parte de proyectos, embajadora en la industria y es una experta en el Made in Italy. Y asimismo tenemos a Mauro Ferraresi, que es un profesor asociado en la Universidad de IULM, director del máster de primer nivel en gestión del Made in Italy, director del máster de primer nivel en gestión y comunicación de la belleza y el bienestar, director del máster en gestión y comunicación de eventos, y que básicamente él analiza los procesos de comunicación con atención a la función de las nuevas tecnologías. Y asimismo también nos acompañan Paolo Adario, titular de Dudubag, y Nicola Manente, responsable comercial, que lleva bolsas, carteras de piel, complementos modernos, y asimismo Giorgio Briccola, que es el Account Executive de Brics, que lleva todo un tema de bolsas de viaje. Entonces, sean bienvenidos todos. Thank you very much to all for being here, and please start the conversation in this way that I think it would be a dialogue between all these elements about the fashion and creative industries, conversation on the Made in Italy, through education, internationalization, and industries. So thank you very much, and I think you have the con, Orietta Pelizzari. Thank you very much for being with us.
Yes, thank you very much to everyone. Thank you, Gustavo. And of course, thanks to La Camera and IULM to organize this opportunity. And even thank you to all the students. They are connecting right now because in this today, we really want to explore the Italian attitude and the internationalization. So I will have also the occasion with the professor Maurizio to explore more this meaning of be Italian, be international, and to adapt a style, maintaining the concept, but adapting to the different cultures. I really would like to give the words to my guest, because I think they are really the guest of tonight. You already know me. We talked longer last week. And let me give the words to Giorgio Briccola, which is representing Brics. And I like you, Gustavo, how you explain in Spanish the bags for the travelers, because Giorgio will explain what does it mean to design bags for travels and also to be international, and why not how to face a pandemic time like now. Giorgio, is your words.
Thank you so much, Orietta, and thanks to everybody. I hope that you can hear me in a good way. I am Giorgio Briccola, and I'm on top of that account executive of Brics International, and plus I'm a third generation of Brics family. The company was founded by my grandfather in 1952. Next year is a 70-year anniversary, and even if we are a small Italian company, we are an international company. To answer your question, Orietta, almost 80–85% of our turnover, even if we are an Italian company, is made around the world, where our first market is US, versus we have the second market, the Southeast Asia, with Philippines, Thailand, China, that are growing day after day. And then we have the European country where we are based in Italy, and it's more important for us to stay focused on our market where we're born. But then we have other markets as Germany, England, that are really booming at the moment, even if we have a really strange situation by the COVID. I'm speaking about figures sometime, but most of the figures that I'm speaking about, they are reflecting on 2019, because for us was the full year preview COVID. Having a travel good accessory, because right now we don't call our company only a luggage company, but we trying to be 360 degrees around the travel industry. Is really important. Is really important the point of being international, and is really important to blend your company in the culture. For example, I'm saying this kind of stuff because in US we have certain type of size of luggage of duffel that they don't work in Asia because of different target of people, different culture, and even different attitude to the travel. It's really important that the company has to work out with a local partner in order to develop more and more about the perception locally, but then looking globally how the trend is going and where the market is focusing for the next year. For example, years ago, we realized that the new focus would be the four-wheel luggage in polycarb. Polycarb, I'm speaking about plastic luggage, versus previous, we were having only two luggage. And that's why even if is a classic type of business, we all the time have to improve ourselves and to develop new idea, new trend. One important stuff of Brics that most of the people don't know, where I'm based, we have our headquarters, we have our development production section, where we even like working with a luxury brand to like study and to understand the trend of the next year generation. Right now, everybody is speaking about recycled material. We are like really focusing the recycle element and really focus on the recycle of the plastic. Sometimes it's difficult to have this kind of like recycled material because of the cost. But anyway, if that is the trend, we have to follow that. And plus, we have to follow the trend on top on the request of the local market. That's why like answering to the initial question was like, is 100% critical to be like international. But in the meantime, like we don't have to forget where we're coming from and which is our like aim for the future.
Wow, brilliant. Gustavo, do you have something to ask Giorgio?
Let me tell you that maybe not particularly right now to ask him, but yo una cosa que le quisiera decir a toda la gente que nos está oyendo es que de hecho en el mercado de maletas, igual que en el de mochilas, hay las mismas tendencias que están aplicando los sistemas de creación de productos en todas las líneas. Entonces, por ejemplo, esto que nos contaba Giorgio de las maletas rígidas de policarbonato o por ejemplo del Duvel, que es esta como maleta que no es rígida, que más bien es como una especie de costal donde tú puedes cambiarla de tamaño y usarla de una manera deportiva. De hecho, eso es totalmente diferente en el mercado mexicano, porque de hecho ahí están, por ejemplo, las direcciones de que el tipo de colección europea en la que tienen la maleta chiquita, el neceser, la grandota, la de viaje, etcétera, aquí en México normalmente es una más ligera que se usa en cabina. Entonces eso es muy interesante porque eso también determina las direcciones que pueda haber en todas las líneas de innovación y producto, no sé, de las más conocidas en México, Samsonite, de las más de innovación en el mundo, Baboon, o de las que ya están creando objetos de lujo y colecciones completas dentro de las líneas de diseño. Just to clarify, in order that our public will have certain idea of what are we talking about, Giorgio. So just, we have made studies in luggage trends, so I know the thing, but that's my only intervention. Thank you, Orietta.
Thank you very much, Arturo, because in effect, you highlighted some of the elements of Giorgio. And now I really want directly to jump to Dudubag as well, so I can give a little bit more clear idea, because we are talking about with Giorgio, third generation, and Paolo, which is your generation inside of your company, because Paolo is the owner and co-owner of Dudubag, and him with Nicola Manente, we will talk about another reality of the Italian style, Italian attitude with an international mindset.
Hi everyone, thank you for inviting me. I'm Paolo Dario, founder of Dudubags. And I am the second generation. My father started many years ago. So we are in the second generation now. Dudubags is an Italian leather company established in 1992 in the north of Italy near Venice. And we develop and design modern leather goods under our brand Dudu. We use high quality, soft and colorful leathers to create functional leather products, from wallets to bags, as well backpacks, homeware and office products. Talking about internationalization of our business, our main and first strategy is focused on online presence. And since the launch of our Dudubags e-commerce website in 2007, we have been creating a strong IT infrastructure to embrace the digital transformation. It has been a very long process, hard process, I have to say, starting from making contents available in several languages. We have 6 languages in our website. Choosing the right words from SEO perspective also. and producing good quality content like photos, videos, and investing in advertising and marketing online. This is our our main focus. And now Dudubags can be found also in several marketplaces all over the world, like Amazon, Tmall in China, Wildberries in Russia, for example, as well as in many European marketplaces, like, for example, Zalando, Otto, Yux, and many others. The point is, if this can help you in some way, that online marketplace help us to increase brand visibility, because people visit our website online, and this raises consumers' interest in our products. And potential retailers, also potential retailers interested in physical stores in several countries that may see our website and get interested in the products. And so this strategy helped us very much during the pandemic, giving us a good stream of online sales and compensate the loss of physical retail sales. So now we strongly believe that omni-channel strategy, balancing online and offline presence, is the right path to succeed in our brand growth. This is very important for us. So also the offline activities is very important. We also own our flagship store in Venice, in San Marco, and this store help us to be known worldwide, because we have many international tourists that are finally enjoying Italian wonders again. So this is my point. Omni-channel strategy and online presence is the key for Dudubag's success right now. So thank you for your opportunity. And if you have any question, I'm here for you. Okay, thank you.
Of course, Paolo, now I want to pass the word to Nicola. I have several questions, but I want to everyone introduce themselves.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nicola, we want to listen to you now.
Ciao a tutti. Buonasera a tutti. Hola a todos. I'm Nicola Manente. I'm a sales manager of Dudubags, as Paolo told before. And in addition to what Paolo said, I would like to explain you guys that we are working outside of the headquarters. So, for example, I go twice a week outside of our headquarters, and I have to find our shops, our customers outside of Italy, in all the Europe country. And is for us very important, as Paolo told before, that we have to create a link, a very strong link between physical stores and online stores. And this is the omni-channel strategies. Is very important, and this is for me the best way to improve our business. I have no other things to tell you. All over Paolo just said, and I want to tell you guys that fashion business is one of the best way to buscarse lo friole. Okay, so greetings to everyone and have a nice day. Ciao.
Ciao, thank you for this. And I want to make a couple of comments, of course, before to ask again to Gustavo. Please, guys, take in consideration and introducing you, Giorgio, Nicola, and Paolo. And I like it so much to call you like this. It's really, you have the culture of Italians, you have this kind of style and taste, because you've seen, and we have the colorful, and then we have design, architecture, technology, futuristic idea, and traditional attention that Italian used to give it. but there is a very strong effort to export this and using the right platform, online, offline. And when we say using the right platform, also need to accomplish the different tastes and the different uses, and also the different evolution. And I really like to point it out, this kind of aspect, because as soon as I was talking with the professor and we were talking about the beauty of Italian style, but beauty of Italian style right now in an international platform need to make, let me say, some elements in compromises with all the countries' different needs. So, who is the next? Let's jump inside of the discussion.
Can I start?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Sorry, guys, if I'm starting. I'm saying like it's really like a nice question about that, Orietta, because as an Italian company, especially as an Italian company that export almost 85% of what we're doing, is really important to bring around the world our like Italian feeling. That is like it's not only about the type of the leather that we're doing, is not about the type of like color contrast that we're doing from mochila till backpack till like luggage, etc. But it's more about the point of like how we like organizing the business. For example, like in our company, we have like a focus of mix and match. Everything has to mix and match from the duffel till the luggage till the backpack, in order to present to our final customer like a sort of like a total look that they can arrive in the store and say like, okay, over there I can see luggage, and then, oh, there is something different. What is? It's Brics. And then we're realizing straight away what is, that is something that is like a peak from like the globality of like brown bag, like black luggage. And that's why like it's something that especially we notice in the American market, in the US market, we're noticing that it distinguishes us as a brand in this way. We are like the guys that are speaking out of the, we speak in a different way, the luggage. In the luggage industry, we are like more a sort of like a classic look. We are like more like different type of like a mentality. And that's why it's important that we have like in our blood, in our culture, the Italianity, even if we produce either in Italy or like in Asia or like around the world. It's a matter of like how we presenting ourselves, and first of all has to be the quality, because if you don't have like the highest quality in the market, you are like making a mistake. Because right now the final customer, they have a telephone in their hands, and with the telephone they can check price, they can check review, and they can
also put bad reviews. They can also put bad reviews. Yeah.
And you have to actually be honest with the final customer, first of all, and then you have to be honest with yourself. That's why it's a good point to be Italian, to be out of the type of classical market, but you have even to be more important, honest with the final client. Sorry if I was too long. Unfortunately, I like
it's very clear. I'm totally agree with Giorgio, if I may.
Orietta, Paolo, we have a question from the public. Andres Hernandez Gutierrez, he's saying, oh, hello, I have a question. With so many options available in the design industry, why did they decide on the field of travel bags? It's a very interesting topic, but it's not the first thing I would think about design of fashion. So it's like a totally different area of production. And I think that's an interesting question because, for example, we have the Made in Italy coming from wine, food, cars, fashion, design, interior design, etc. So the Made in Italy, it's a country. Really, it's a country.
Yeah, but
So
it's also bags.
Yes, of course. Even
Yeah.
Louis Vuitton or many others are the name of the very big brands. So I think the important part of this question is how you can have the Made in Italy in all incarnations. And you will have quality, and you will have design, and you will have this thing that it has just been said, the Italianity of a certain kind of luggage.
Gustavo, sorry to interrupt you.
No, could you go?
First of all, one stuff that I think we don't know from people that are not related to the market, and I'm even sure Paolo and Nicola, they will answer to you in the same way. The 90% of the luxury brand is Louis Vuitton, Chanel,
yes,
all the big French company, but even American. When they have a premium brand, they're arriving in Italy to produce. That's why is a matter of fact, in Italy we have the highest quality, especially in the bag production, in the leather goods industry. And as I'm saying, us, we are two different company, but we're focused on the same way as having the highest quality for our market. That's why I'm more focused on the luggage one. They are more focused on other product. As I'm saying, we're trying to even to work with those kind of luxury brand to bring what is made in Italy around the world. And I'm thinking that with my company, with my family company, we're trying to do that and to bring our face around. That's why I was more than happy to participate to this kind of call with Orietta, with you, and with the Chamber of Commerce, because for the future, let me tell you the truth, Mexico is one of our target market because it's a market that is increasing, and especially is one of the most important in Central America, is the most important in Central America. That's why if we have to look in the next 10 years, we start even with this kind of call, with this kind of knowledge, with this kind of chit chat between us, you, and a new student, to understand that it's important to put a solid base for the future possibility of the market. And we don't know if it's going to happen another pandemic in 10 years. We keep our finger crossed that it's not going to be, but we're trying our best to do to work in a serious way to develop our market and our business for the future.
This is correct. Gustavo, do you have further? Because I've seen a lot of questions.
Yes, certainly.
There is a lot. Maurizio want to talk a little bit.
Yes, it's a lot of questions. It says in here, what do you think is the future of travel bags? It has been sort of already answered. And there is another from Anaid Ledesma. She says, to produce purses and mochilas and backpacks and luggage, etc., it has been a change with the use coming from leather to plastic. How do you deal with this situation? And also they are saying, but it's already answered. How do you see the industry and markets in Mexico? So it has been answered already. So I think particularly this question about the leather, the real leather.
Who is working with leather? Paolo, I think.
Yeah, leather. I think
Paolo.
I think we have the best leather in the world here in Italy, and leather is it's difficult to change with the plastic. The product, it's so good, and the leather is durable. It has many advantages, and so I think our culture is use the leather. We have the best materials, and that we have also the best technicians and workmanships, etc. So, talking about our company, we really focus on leather products. We don't want to use other materials. And so I think about the future, even in the eco-friendly side, the leather at the end of the day is the best choice in my view, because it's a circle, way to use the material, and I think it has a bright future. And also about the future of travel bags, I think it will be very good because people want to travel, and now traveling is the best thing to do. And I think it will be a bright future after the pandemic. So I think
very positive.
Yes, this is my view.
I'm receiving another question from Eugenia Carolina Diguero. She says, "Ciao a tutti. I have a question. And this question is particularly interesting if I see the Instagram of Brics Milano. It seems it's huge. The thing about the photographs are speaking of a certain kind of a considered traveler with a certain kind of a ways to be with the travel experience. And at the same hand, when I see the Instagram of Dudubag, it's so colorful. It's so full of color lines, geometrical. The experience of the design is so joy and young, etc. So the question of Eugenia is, what is the approximate age of your consumers who buy your products? If there is generational differences in the kind of products you are producing, Dudubags and Brics Milano.
Definitely. I think like there is like a big difference between our generation of the target client that we want to reach. And on top of that, let me tell you that even when we look in the figure, we have like a totally different appeal for the final client between country to country. For example, I have like a certain type of bag of handbags. In the American market, they are like much younger in fashion versus in the European market, they are more steady and old. That's why when we look in our clientele from Brics, we have like a certain target between 30 to 40 years old, more female oriented when we're speaking about USA, versus we have like 45, 55 when we're looking about European, but it's even younger when we look in the Asian market. That's why to answer your question and even connect myself to the previous one that Orietta did, it's really important to be global looking, but even locally connected to your clientele. We have a different type of advertising campaign that we're doing by market, and we have even a different type of influencer that we use in country to country. Anyways, we are not like a big company as Samsonite or Remova or even the luxury one, but our focus is to target our clientele by the region where you are. Otherwise, if you are too much out of focus and with the product, with the dimension of the inches of the carry-on bag, let me tell you, in Europe now, we're becoming crazy with a 20 or even 19-inch carry-on bag size. In America, I still find a 21-inch expandable carry-on to bring it on a plane. And that's why we have even those kind of issue from the marketing till the product till the store. And that even reflect on everything that we're doing. That's why I think globally, but then act locally.
Thank you, Giorgio. I think now can we, Gustavo, make a question to Mauro, because I really would like to involve Mauro, because he's the person that opened and also closed our session. And I think I want to give this insight that can have can be also my link. So talking about Italian, maintaining the Italianity, it's really one of the main focus. And this is a little bit the conclusion that I have after this little talk with my guest. Grazie,
Thank you.
Mauro.
Thank you, Orietta. Thank you, Orietta. I wanna thank you all for inviting me and to give me the opportunity to listen to these interesting things. And but as a professor of sociology of consumption and director of Master Made in Italy, I would like to start with a trivial, probably a trivial question. That to say, what is Made in Italy? And is the Made in Italy something different from the Italian people and from the rest of the world? Yeah, in my opinion, the perception we Italians have of the Made in Italy and the quality of the Made in Italy, we have heard a lot about this. People that were talking before me, they were good in explaining what we do and what we product under the umbrella of the Made in Italy, and why and how we product things and goods. But in my opinion, and from a, let's say, cultural point of view, Made in Italy is not only just business, is not just history or Italian habits and customs. Probably is a combination of all these things, in the sense that from an historical point of view, we can say that Made in Italy was born or took its first step in the Renaissance. When Florence was the cultural and commercial capital of Europe. You know, the Florentine traders, they were traveling all around Europe and selling their goods, and those goods were qualitatively superior and much more beautiful than the goods product all over in Europe. The Florentine traders, they traveled to a tiny Paris or a muddy London. They spoke Italian, and they wanted that London people or Parisian people, they answered Italian, and they were paid with Florentine guilders that were the euro of that time. So that's to say that we were able to impose our sense of beauty all over the Europe. But why? Why? Probably because of the Renaissance, because of the flourishing of the beauty in the Italian towns. We were accustomed with the beauty, and we were able to have that good taste that now has the entire world as a playground. I don't expect that this sort of things that are rooted in Italian history are well known abroad. No, because I'm sure that the perception of the Made in Italy in Italy is different from the perception of the Made in Italy in the rest of the world. Probably in the rest of the world, they love our good taste, our fabrics, our way to produce goods, but they don't know that everything was rooted in our culture and in our history. Now I can say, as a last thing, that today the Made in Italy has welded with the very structure of the Italian capitalism, in the sense that now the Italian capitalism, as you can hear right now, is a constellation of families with an entrepreneurial habit and spirit, and they are able to start up with little or medium industries, and they compete each other in a way that this competition is able to improve the innovation, because the good competition is always good for innovation. And the medium-sized or small-sized enterprises that we have now can tell to the entire world what our taste is, and I would try to explain to you just in few minutes why this good taste is so well, let's say, welcomed from the rest of the world. Probably because centuries of Renaissance get used, all the Italian people, not all, but consistent part of the Italian people to be accustomed with the beauty. And now we are able to translate the beauty in goods.
Amazing. I found it quite interesting.
Gustavo.
Yeah, it was amazing. Thank you. It was quite interesting.
If it's possible, I would like to reply to some questions
Please.
for the guys related on a particular problem. It's an ethical problem. So they are asking to us if we are thinking that working with animal leather represents an ethical problem, or other questions like this. And I like to reply to the young people who are asking these things to us, that Italian leathers is a very natural product that is one of the best recyclable products obtained from animals that are intended for food. So, and this is very important to know, because we are using leather from animals that are dead by food for the humans.
Thank you, Nicola.
That's it.
In effect. And I like it to jump in because Professor Mauro created this link in a brilliant way, because he was starting to talk about Renaissance. And the answer of Nicola to some of the question is really linked. The beauty and the Italian taste started in Renaissance. Mauro can correct me if I'm wrong. And that was not only the design of the thing, but was also the making, the correct material, the upcycling, the using on a perfect way. And when I say perfect, using all the elements until the end, the innovation and technology to apply new techniques and new technologies that we see right now. And this is really, and me as well, I wanted to answer to some of the questions I see in, which is innovation for Italians means keep the roots and find new solution to respect humans, culture, and of course, sustainable environment. And innovation means to explore new materials as well. So please open the door to the nopal compound. Why not? Which nopal is ananas. I don't remember. No, not ananas, the cactus. Okay, is the cactus. But this means it's a vegetable fiber. So, and like this, we can use other types of it. So innovation has to reach out a good-looking material, a good-looking performance material, which all the performance you want, because when you buy attracted by colors, aesthetic, innovation, look, functionality. All of these things are all connected in a way that Mauro explained to us. It's a little bit, as Gustavo said, wow, we have travel bags, we have this, we have that. Italy is a world.
Yeah, thank you, Orietta. No, I don't have anything. I don't reply to you because, in my opinion, you were able to explain better than I did. The fact that our history and our culture now are married with the Italian capitalism structure and the way that we fight. Yes, we can say that, to find out our place in the world. We are not looking back to our history. I don't want to say that, because innovation is strong in the Made in Italy is very strong. But in my opinion, we can jump, let's say, in the future if you are well rooted in the past and in the present, and that is why I spoke of the Renaissance.
Thank you for this.
One thing that I would like to raise, particularly for the people hearing us right now, is that the thing, with all the respect, certainly, the thing about the roots of the beauty, the history of Renaissance, the quality, the aesthetic quality, production, values, luxury, etc., provided to make made in Italy. We have here, for example, in Mexico, maybe around 30 years ago, everybody has a television made in Japan. Now there is none made in Japan televisions, and all the televisions are made in Korea or made in Taiwan. And with that, what I want to say is that it's not impossible for a country, as an example for all our Mexican students, to be able to develop a made in. So we, for the moment, we maybe do not have a clear made in Mexico. Maybe when we say made in Mexico, people will believe about our taste, our gastronomy, but people will not be very into going to our technology. If you hear technology made in Mexico, maybe it does not sound like something so desirable, but certainly the made in Denmark, the made in Italy, the possibility to make products in design that are the new ethos of how can we develop a whole brand is something that we can learn from Made in Italy. And that's absolutely important for us as Mexican creators, the possibility to make such a stance, such a possibility to say, made in my country, and make a new stance in it. And if it's well done, and it has value, and it has memory and culture, the world will say, oh, I recognize it. So it's just a commentary of how we should be able in the future to have something in the same tenor.
Yeah.
Orietta.
Who want to start?
Oh.
I start?
Yes.
Giorgio, Nicola,
Okay.
Paolo, or?
Okay. I think like he's right with Gustavo just like point. For example, like as like an Italian company, we write like where is possible on our production, like made in Italy. As you understand, like my production, our production as a company, they are not 100%. All my collection is not 100% made in Italy, but we have like a sort of like different production all around the world. Definitely, my important production are over here based where I am right now, between like Milano and Como. And I'm saying like is really important in the same way as like the made in Italy, made in Brics, because like all around the world, no matter what we're producing and where we're producing it, we put in our face. Our guarantee is like our history is like 70-year history company. And that's why like all the time we have to say, yes, we are like an Italian company, and where is possible, we producing 100% made in Italy. Then we using like, yes, either leather, plastic, cotton material, recycled material. But then where is not possible, we producing like all around the world. We're producing like Cambodia, we're producing like East Europe, we're producing like Poland. But definitely we're producing with the name of Brics. Name of Brics, what it matter? It matter that is like 70 years that we are like in the market. You will need to buy like a product that is like good quality for the price that you paying, and especially that you have to keep it like for the next year without having any sort of trouble. That's why like we put in our face as a guarantee. Made in Italy is important. I think like is important enough in the same way as like made in Brics. This is like my personal point of view. But then definitely when you're going around the world and you showing like a fantastic like mochila and leather with a wrote like nice made in Italy, is a sort of like totally different feeling, totally different taste. If you can combine the made in Italy plus made in Brics, bingo, that's you have like the right match.
An
But then that was like my personal point of view.
No, you have absolutely
like
right.
Paolo and Nicola want to answer.
Yeah, I
It's like,
totally agree
wait
with
a
Giorgio.
second, just let me a second. A todas las personas que nos están oyendo, ya estamos en la última parte de la conversación, y en lo que ustedes someten preguntas y ellos hacen su ronda final, les recuerdo que hoy hay un sorteo. El sorteo está apareciendo en su chat y va a haber una serie de productos de Yamamay, que es una marca de ropa interior y pijamas que está impresionante. Entonces, por favor, todos participen y contesten las preguntas que se les van a dar a través del chat. Excuse me for the interruption. Please continue. Make your final conclusions and rounds. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, I totally agree with Giorgio, because no matter where you produce the product, the important thing is the idea and the taste. And made in Italy is not only, I think, the fact that you produce in Italy, but it is the taste and the design that the Italian people can make with their knowledge and with their history and legacy, etc. So, talking about Mexico, as Gustavo said, even a Mexican person can have a good idea, a good design, and produce in Mexico or all over the world, and have a good idea and get the market. So it's not. I think made in Italy is a culture first. Is having good taste and good design and manufacturing, etc. So now we are living in a global market, you know. So you can even our products are not all 100% made in Italy. We produce in India, we produce in Italy some products, but the important thing is you check the quality and you control all the cycle of the product, of the production and details, etc. So this is very, very, I think, important. So this is the point, I think. So why not? Even a Mexican person can have good ideas and have
made in Mexico everywhere.
Yes, exactly. And maybe in the future we can produce even in Mexico. Why not? So this is not the point. The point is create a good product, a nice product, and with good design, good materials, colors, etc. So this is my view.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I knew that Francesco wanted to jump inside. I just have to thank to this answer, because I totally agree that what is really important is the creativity. And for this reason, this name is Encuentro Creativo. And the reason why, of course, I'm also here to talk with Mexico is because I know exactly Mexican has a lot of creativity. They are very similar to Italians because they can have a bunch of ideas with their culture. And of course, Viva Mexico all around the world. That's always my point. Always, this is always what I'm doing with entrepreneurs when I'm working also in Mexico, to give and suggest to entrepreneurs, young designers, please take your ideas outside of Mexico because we love Mexico.
Orietta, thanks so much. I have no problem to continue in English, pero voy a intentar de hacer este cierre en español antes de la rifa, porque yo sé que los alumnos, los estudiantes, los jóvenes creativos están esperando el tema del sorteo. Primero que nada, gracias, Orietta, tu ospite, absolutamente como IULM. Y agradezco mucho al profesor Mauro Ferraresi, que como le contaba inicialmente es el director de este curso nuevo que tenemos en IULM, en moda e industria creativa. El concepto con cui quiero cerrar es que en este encuentro creativo, usted, alumno mexicano, joven mexicano, están teniendo diferente punto de vista. Tiene diferente universidad, tiene diferentes centros de excelencia en Italia. Nosotros como IULM, por esto fue muy importante como dire, el contributo del profesor Ferraresi, que habló mucho de historia y sociología. Esto es un poco el enfoque que como IULM le estamos dando de diversidad respecto a otra institución italiana muy importante, famosa, que hacen un súper buen trabajo. Acá ninguno está compitiendo, son solo temáticas diferentes. Quiero cerrar, mañana tenemos el último encuentro como IULM, que lo IULM tiene esto, unicidad, esto algo único en el contexto, que habla de moda y de industria creativa, pero sí lo está haciendo con una mirada mucho más sociológica, humanística, obviamente relacionado a la empresa, obviamente, porque gracias obviamente al contributo de la empresa y de toda la empresa que son alrededor del proyecto IULM, pero el marco humanístico, el toque humanístico, culturale, sociológico, sono la base per la preparación de un talento, de un líder creativo del futuro. Entonces, volviendo a la pregunta de Gustavo, si o no vamos a hacer un México, un Made in México, cuando se habla de liderazgo creativo o de poder creativo, todo esto pasa da una cultura, pasa da un aprendizaje cultural y humanístico, histórico y tecnológico, que es un cruce fundamental para el desarrollo de un liderazgo creativo potente. Entonces, nosotros como IULM, poi me cierro y te paso la parola, Orietta, de nuevo agradeciendo a ti, como siempre muy elegante, fina, raffinata, creando puente entre empresa, universidad, un encanto siempre escucharnos. Para nosotros como IULM, también para el profesor Mauro Ferraresi fue, como dire, un primer puente con la Cámara de Comercio, con el México, y ojalá que podamos, junto con tu maestría, crear más vínculos para el futuro. Pero sí, nosotros queremos presentarnos en el contexto mexicano con esta keyword, con esta parola llave: humanesimo, sociología, antropología cultural y, naturalmente, empresa. Muchas gracias por el tiempo. Si hay preguntas, si no, voy a pasar al tema de la rifa. Y como IULM, tenemos mañana el próximo apuntamiento conmigo, donde vamos a hablar de liderazgo creativo. De nuevo, muchas gracias, Orietta, a ti y tu hóspede, como siempre, muy fina y elegante.
Gracias, muchas gracias del complimento. I have to thank all of you, and I really have to thank all my guests, in special, and Professor Mauro and Francesco, Gustavo, even from my side, and all the students, because I think they want to go ahead with a lot of questions. So this means we have to repeat the experience, maybe in a physical version directly in Mexico. Grazie. Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much for everybody, for your presence in here and for sharing. I think we have to start with who you are, your identity, your personal brand. Who we can do, then you can start making something between everybody, and maybe it's a brand. And then who we are, the brands that we are participating, then you make a country. And then that's the thing that certainly was made in Italy with all the presence, all the maturity, and all the capacity of Italy. Ya llegó, ya esta es la oportunidad, muchachos. Diana Gutiérrez Pérez tiene una gift card de Yamamay. Es una gift card extensa, lo vas a disfrutar mucho. Yo de verdad te tengo envidia de la buena porque me gustaría también tenerlo yo. Muchas gracias por tu participación. Ahorita te contactan directamente para la entrega. And Orietta Pelizzari, it was always a pleasure to have you here, as long as all your invitees, ¿no? Muchísimas gracias. Entonces, todos vamos a continuar con la experiencia de IULM el día de mañana, y al rato les recuerdo que va a estar de la Secretaría del Banco de México, van a estar aquí con nosotros para decirnos opciones reales de financiamiento para estudios superiores de posgrado en Italia. Por lo pronto, Valentina Plata toma la palabra, le agradece a nuestros patrocinadores y vamos preparándonos para el final. Gracias.
Gracias, muchas gracias a todos.
Thank you.
Buenas tardes.
Grazie, thank you.
Gracias, gracias. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Muchas gracias también a IULM y a Orietta por participar en este encuentro creativo con tan interesante exposición. Y bueno, yo solo les recuerdo que Encuentro Creativo es una iniciativa de la Cámara de Comercio Italiana en México en colaboración con la Embajada de Italia también en México. Y bueno, esto no sería posible sin el apoyo de nuestros patrocinadores. Fénix, como patrocinador oficial de esta primera edición de Encuentro Creativo. Yamamay, por supuesto, que hoy nos regala esta gift card de 2,000 pesos. Vialetti, Amoretti Brothers, Scavolini, Seña, Ferrari México, Aperol Spritz, Cinzano, San Pellegrino, Ferrero, Capriccio Cucina, Secretos del Vino, Riedel y Grupo Berlín. También les recuerdo que si se perdieron alguna de las sesiones, pueden revivirlas en la página de Encuentro Creativo, en la sección de videos de las conferencias. Además, nos quedan 2 días de actividades y una muy interesante esta tarde, entonces los invitamos a que sigan participando. Muchas gracias y nos vemos al ratito.